people, you're welcome back once again to my channel. If you're seeing my face for the first time, this is Tina Isoa. Where have you been? You're welcome to the channel, okay? So guys, a lot of you have been asking me, but before then, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and join this amazing family. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, because definitely you're going to like it, love it, and enjoy it. And at the same time, please share. You never can tell who you'll be helping around you, okay? And a lot of you have asked or requested that I have a section with them, and right now I'm at Bridge Clinic, Port Harcourt, River State, and so many of you sent me questions that I don't have the professional background to answer, and I have scheduled this chit chat with them, and I'm here with Dr. Femi Oluwole. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Dr. Tambari Femi Oluwole. I'm a fertility physician at the Bridge Clinic in Port Harcourt. I've been at the Bridge Clinic for about 4 years, and I've been in medical practice for over 10 years. So that's what I do.
Okay. In case if you don't know, I have 3 amazing children. God blessed me through IVF in Nigeria, in this Bridge Clinic, and hence I decided that I have to come out and be sharing my testimonies, which have attracted a lot of persons towards opening up about IVF in Nigeria. And like I said earlier, a lot of you sent me questions that I will be asking her, and I've asked her if is she grounded enough to give us the answer, and what she told me is yes, I should shoot. So I'm going to shoot the shots. So my wonderful people, this is the part 2 of this chit chat with the fertility physician. So in case if you have not seen the first video, I would suggest you watch that first video before this. Or if you choose to still go ahead and watch this one, please make sure you catch up. That's why I decided to make this voice note to let you know that this is a continuation of the previous video. Thank you and enjoy. Please do subscribe. God bless. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy it. What is Bridge Clinic's success rate?
Okay, so I said that the worldwide success rate, we're looking at about 35%, and this is what we use like as our benchmark. Okay, so on average, over the past decade, on average, we've been somewhere about 37%. All right, and when you talk about success, we're looking at our clinical pregnancy rates.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having a positive pregnancy test. The same way a woman gets pregnant naturally, we're waiting for the baby in 9 months. Unfortunately, some people will have miscarriages.
Yeah.
It could be early, it could be a bit later. Some people will have some abnormalities, ectopic pregnancy. You might have a pregnancy where you have a sac and no baby inside. Okay, so what we're looking at the end of the day is, okay, yes, general pregnancy rates will be higher, but what is the clinical pregnancy rate where you can see a baby in the sac with the heartbeat? That's what we want. So that's the clinical pregnancy, about 37%.
Wow. So I fall personally, I am among that 37%.
Yeah, but it's 100% for you.
So the next question I have here is, okay, that brings me to the question, another question that people always ask me, why 2? Like when I tell them that they transferred only 2, and they said no way, and you know that people after maybe 10 years in marriage and all that, they want to, please give me 10, let me just carry it and stay in the hospital until I put to bed. So why the strict policy of transferring maximum of 2?
Okay. So partly because of international standards, but it's also because we love our clients. Okay, now the uterus is designed to carry 1 embryo. Okay, twins, we will say maybe there's some accommodation. With higher order multiples, triplets, quadruplets, and all that, the risk to the woman is higher. The risk to the babies is also higher. So there's a higher risk of things like preterm delivery. There's a higher risk of the woman having, with the prematurity, you have other complications that can come. The woman herself can have things like hypertension in pregnancy, diabetes in pregnancy. There are a whole lot of complications.
Even what is splitting? Splitting is another one that.
Yes. Okay. So when you put in the 2 embryos, you can have a maximum of 4 babies, because from 1 embryo you can have a split and have identical twins.
Yeah.
So this means that with your 2 embryos, you can have maximum of 4. And so already with that risk of 4, if I put in 3, I'm increasing your risk to 6. If you go to the US now, most people will tell you it is one embryo they agree to transfer because they know that risk. They'll tell you, take your one. If you have two, fantastic. Come back. We are here for you. So you freeze your embryos and you come back. But we also want to minimize the risk to the woman. It's very important.
So I hope you guys have heard it. Better safe than sorry. Now the next question is that do you people have branches in abroad, like so that people don't have to be coming home? Let them just go there and do it if they are fortunate enough is in their location.
Yeah, okay. For now, our branches are Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. We have some international affiliations, one of which is IVF Professor Zek. Okay, but it's not directly like...
Which country is that?
IVF Professor Zek is one of the leading IVF clinics in Europe, but they're headquartered in Austria. Okay, so but it's not like you can walk in and say, I'm from Bridge Clinic and you know, I've paid, come and do my treatment. No, that's not how it works, yes, but IVF Professor Zek are our international partners. Yes, okay. But right now, branches are all in Nigeria.
Okay, and do people have the intention of expanding your branches both here in Nigeria and abroad?
I will have to ask.
You may, exactly, I know you. You may not be in the position to answer that one.
I mean, knowing Bridge Clinic and Bridge Clinic is known for innovation, there might be something in the works. So yeah, I'm sure it will happen soon. Alright.
So another question that I get asked always is the fact that this is Africa. A lot of people. This is Africa, for goodness sake. Let me repeat it again. This is Africa. You find out a woman who has given birth to a female child, first female, second female, third female. They don't want to take risk. So most of the times they want to just give me guarantee that if I'm pregnant now, it's going to be a male child. So are there ways you guys do to ascertain that this person, no matter the amount, it's a boy and it must be a boy?
Oh yes, okay, so there's something called...
Did you just say oh yes?
Yes.
She said yes. Oh yes. It's okay.
So there's something called PGT, pre-implantation genetic testing. Okay? So with your regular IVF, we're just taking an egg and a sperm. We don't have all the detailed information about this embryo.
Okay.
Yes, but with PGT, what we do is on that 5th day, instead of transferring your embryo back into your uterus, we take a small sample, which we call a biopsy.
Okay.
Alright. Now this biopsy is going to go to the genetic lab, and trust me, the genetic lab is overseas. Okay. So it's going to the genetic lab for analysis. This analysis is going to tell you what's going on with all the chromosomes in that embryo. So part of the chromosomes are what? Sex chromosomes, and so you can tell if that embryo is a male or a female. Now the good thing is that it doesn't just tell you is it male, is it female. It tells you it is male and there are no other issues. It is female and there's an issue. Okay, so if there is an abnormality on another chromosome, for instance, the chromosome that causes Down syndrome, it can tell you, okay, it's male, but this male has possibility of Down syndrome. Then you will now use your mind and decide, should we go ahead? It could tell you it's not recommended for you to use this, or it's recommended, or use it with genetic counseling. So this is how the results come out. And the advantage is for people who have, other hereditary illnesses in their family, they can do this screening. So it's not just for sex. Okay. You can do it for this screening. Sickle cell is another reason why a lot of people do PGT. You are AS, you are AS, you are in love. You want to marry, come and do your PGT. Then you can tell that, okay, this one is AA, this one is AS, this one is SS. And it just makes it easy for you to avoid the heartache of dealing with a sickle cell child. It's actually, it takes a lot out of the couple emotionally. We know that your love can cover a lot of things, but when you see your child ill, it's not, with a normal child it's difficult. Then imagine a child who is ill all the time, so PGT really helps a lot of couples.
There was something you just said now, that my legs are vibrating and I'm fidgeting here. You said you take a little from the embryo. And this thing has already formed. Are you not taking the eye?
Fortunately, no. Fortunately, no. Those cells will contribute to the placenta. So it's not going to affect the fetus. It's the outermost cells that kind of come out first. Yes, so those ones will not affect the embryo. They won't affect the baby.
So what's your last word? Any last word for us?
Well, I would say that there is hope for any couple that is trying to achieve pregnancy. I know that it's emotionally tasking. She said, this is Africa, this is Africa. This is really Africa, and this is Nigeria especially. And we know the value that we place on fertility in Nigeria. So don't give up hope. I said most couples, you're looking at between 3 to 5 IVF cycles. But even if you're not able to carry on your own, some people have had their uterus removed. There's a possibility of doing surrogacy. There's a possibility of doing egg donation. So don't give up. That dream is still, very valid, and it's very possible for you to have what you want.
Okay, I want to ask another question based on what you just mentioned now. A lot of people do not know about surrogacy and the cost. How can they go about it? Can you people, number one, do you honor people coming in with a surrogate person? And can you provide, and what is the cost? Can you just give us a little idea about how you practice with bringing in a surrogate person?
Okay, so for a couple who needs a surrogate, first of all, we have to establish that there is a medical or a clinical need for the surrogate.
Okay.
Okay, we don't see it as like...
So are you saying that I want another baby, but I don't have energy to carry pregnancy?
No, we don't want it as fashion. We want you to be able to actually have a reason. So there are people who have health challenges. You have health challenges, and in pregnancy, it will get worse, or it's unsafe for you to get pregnant with your health challenge. That's a reason for surrogacy. Some people have had their uterus removed in a previous surgery. That's the reason for surrogacy. Some people still have the uterus, but the endometrium is not responding the way it's supposed to respond, and there are a lot of issues carrying. That's an indication for surrogacy. So we want to know, why are we doing this surrogacy? There should be a valid reason, ideally. Alright, so when we now know this is the reason for surrogacy, the couple are taking through extensive counseling, because there are a lot of things to consider. Our laws are still trying to catch up with the innovations that we have in Nigeria now. And so, if your surrogate, God forbid, decides to go to another country, maybe Togo, and she delivers the baby, they will say the baby is a surrogate, so move it, because she pushed out the baby. So you have a lot of things that have to, and this is why you really need to establish the need for this person to use a surrogate. Now, when we have the counseling for surrogacy, then we let you bring in your surrogate. We will give you recommendations, criteria for selecting that surrogate, and then you bring in the surrogate. It's important for the couple to have this relationship with the person, because some people say, oh, I don't want to know the surrogate. That's fine, but unfortunately we don't work like that. And this is also because that we don't go all the way to your delivery for now. And so after we discharge your surrogate from here, you are going to have to follow up on that surrogate. And so that relationship is good. It's also because we don't want your surrogate being maltreated by somebody and she cannot come to you and say, look, this person is not giving me food, and I'm carrying the baby. So that relationship is important. The surrogate herself also needs to be counseled. Because she probably will not go on living her normal life the way she has been living.
And tomorrow she may just come up and say, after all, I bought this baby.
Do you understand? So there are all these things to consider. So there's a lot of consideration, a lot of counseling that goes into surrogacy. So at Bridge Clinic, we don't provide surrogates. The couple come in with their surrogates. We will give criteria, and then you come in with your surrogate. We will guide you and your surrogate through the process, extensive counseling. We will test the surrogate, ensure that she is also fit. The same way we test our clients. We want the surrogate to also go through the rigorous process and clinically also be okay before she can carry those embryos for you, and hopefully you'll get a good outcome. The cost of surrogacy you asked about, unfortunately I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll be able to provide that for you.
Okay. So probably the last question, when people are trying to conceive and it's not possible for them, they consider IVF and they come, and sometimes you hear somebody saying after 20 years of marriage and all that, you'll be hearing, even on the news, you'll be hearing 60-year-old woman gave birth to this, that and that. Are there age gap that you people work with, or can a 70-year-old woman come here and you still perform the magic?
Well, unfortunately it's not magic. For a woman to conceive, you're looking at a lot of things. Her age is actually one of them. You want somebody who, when she's done having this baby, she's still fit and okay to take care of the baby. And you also don't want somebody who, when she's too old, there are other health challenges associated with pregnancy itself now, not only just the IVF. So at Bridge Clinic, the maximum age is 55. From 55, we don't choose any clients for IVF. So below 55, we will choose, but above 55. And even for people who are below 55, you want to make sure that the person is
either using donor eggs.
Yes. At 55, of course, you'll be using donor eggs, but at 54, you'll be using donor eggs. But you also want to make sure that anybody who is coming in, even if you are 24, you are medically fit. So if you are 24 and you are maybe obese and you are hypertensive, all that needs to be brought under control before you start your IVF cycle. We don't hurry, because you don't want complications in the long run. Okay, so we take our time, ensure that you are fit, but age limits 54 is the maximum.
Wow, me, I've learned a lot. Okay, this is more like an eye opener for me. And I don't know if you guys have other questions. Please ask in the comment section. I know her personally. I will send the message to her. She'll give me the answer. I won't have to come here and here. So I think I've asked you any last word. Did you answer
Yes,
them? Okay, what did you say?
I said that your dream is valid.
Is
They can talk to you if they want to know more. I know you have first-hand experience. We saw your video, we're so excited. But I mean, I'm like, yes, this is what we like. I mean, it's nice to be able to have.
Are there people who are sharing that information in Nigeria?
I'm sure they're sharing it because
Nigeria.
well, the truth of the matter is not a lot of people are willing to. People are not talking about CS. So for somebody to come out and talk about IVF sex, you know, it really takes a lot of courage and a lot of labor. Some people will tell you, even my family members are asking me about test tube baby, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Let me just, you know, that privacy is very important to them. But I'm very glad that you're sharing your story because it also helps people know that this thing works.
Yeah, of course now, and you know, every day. So I think that's the last question and probably the end of this chit chat. I hope you have learned a lot. Me, I've learned a lot too. And if you have any further question, like I said earlier, ask in the comment section. Or if you want me to share my personal experience and all some of the men that was not mentioned here, you have to pay for my own consultation fee and come to me and I will answer you. And if you want this, like I have given over 100 people their number and they have contacted them, and probably I hope they have started with them calling. So I don't mind sharing their contact with you guys as well. Thank you so much. God bless you. If you haven't subscribed up until this time, what are you waiting for? You did not enjoy all this whole thing. Please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload any related video, you get notified. And at the same time, please smash the like button and do not forget to share. You may be helping someone around you. Okay, so Doc, say bye until we see some other time. Let's blow them kiss until we see some other time.
I'm not pregnant.
Yes, so for all the people that want it. Thank you so much. Nice chatting with you.